Welcome to Birds of Prey Sports, where we weekly cover Ravens and Orioles news. We're your hosts, TJ and Jared. And in this video, a video we've been waiting for a while, we're going to be discussing the now official Baltimore Ravens 2024 schedule. So we already know what week one is going to be. It's obviously going to be at the Chiefs, September 5th. It's going to be, Thursday night football game on NBC opening, to open a year. But we have a tough, first 4 weeks, I would say. And so I'm just gonna read off. I'll just read off some of the games here, and then I'll pass it to you if you want to read off. I'll read off the first 5 games.
Yeah,
Um,
you read the whole thing.
I'll read all of them. Okay.
Hmm.
So week two, which is September 15th, we're gonna be playing the Las Vegas Raiders. Week three, which is September 22nd, we're going to be at Dallas playing the Cowboys. Week four, which is September 29th, that's a Sunday night football game. We're going to be playing the Buffalo Bills, so primetime game. Week five, which is October 6th, we will be at the Bengals. Uh, week six, which is October 13th, we will be playing the Commanders. That's going to be a 1 o'clock game, and the Bengals will be a 1 o'clock game as well. October 21st, we will be at Tampa Bay and playing the Buccaneers. That's going to be an 8:15 game. I think that's a Monday night football game, I
Yeah,
believe.
it's kind of random.
Yeah. Um,
It's one of our more random Monday Night Football games that
oh
I've
yeah.
ever seen.
Oh yeah. Week eight, which is October 27th, we will be at Cleveland. We'll be playing the Browns. That's a 1 o'clock game. Week nine, which is November 3rd, we will be playing Denver, which is also a 1 o'clock game. That's at home. Week 10, which is November 7th, we'll be playing the Bengals, which is 8:15. That's a Thursday night football game. That's a home
Hmm.
game, primetime game. Week 11, which is November 17th, we'll be at Pittsburgh playing the Steelers. That's a 1 o'clock game. Week 12, which is November 25th, we will be at the Los Angeles Chargers, which is 8:15. That's a Monday night game. So the Hard Bowl, we'll be seeing again. Um, Week 13, which is December 1st, we'll be playing the Eagles, which is a 4:25 game. Should have been prime time, in my opinion. Um, Week 14 is our bye, so we have a very late bye. It's been that way. This is the first time it's been that way in a while for the Ravens, having a late bye like that.
Yeah,
Um,
this is our latest,
yeah,
2000.
yeah, that's crazy. Week 15, which is on December 15th, we'll be at the New York Giants. Week 16, which is December 21st, we'll be playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It says 4:30 on Fox, so that's a home game. And December 25th on Christmas, we will be at the Houston Texans, which is a 4:30 game. It's going to be on Netflix. So make sure you guys get your subscriptions going. And then the final game of the season, week 18th, is to be announced what day it will be, but it will be against the Cleveland Browns, and the time will be to be announced too. So overall, we have a pretty tough schedule. We have the toughest schedule in the league, I believe.
I think it's the
Um,
second toughest. I think
but
the Browns got it harder than us
yeah,
somehow,
the Browns got the toughest.
which
We
is
had
which
the
which which is weird since we're the one team that finished in first place. But I don't know. That's kind of strange to me.
Yeah, the AFC North has all have very tough schedules this year. So give me your thoughts about the schedule. Just what are you thinking?
Um, I'm thinking that there's not a lot of quality breaks per se. Like I think you come out of the gates like running pretty well, Chiefs, Raiders, Cowboys, Bills, Bengals. You got Commanders and who we probably should beat, and then the Bucks also we probably should beat, who knows. But then you got Browns, well, Bucks Brown. I'll count those Bucks Browns games. I mean, there was two playoff teams last year, so those are especially going Monday Night Football, but it's in Florida, so Lamar usually shows out in his home state and then
Yeah.
versus the Browns, divisional opponent hard. But then, you got the Broncos, should be a win, should be domination. But then you got what Bengals, Steelers, Chargers, Eagles. That 4 game stretch. Now I'm gonna throw the Chargers in there just because, you know, I don't expect them to be as bad as maybe others, would think. But they're not going to be like a playoff team probably. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were somewhere close.
They're
So
gonna be
maybe
good.
they're like somewhere like an 8, 9, 10 win team possibly. So maybe they'll give the Chiefs a run for their money. I don't know, but I don't know about all that. But yeah, that stretch right there, that 4 game stretch that's important. You got two divisional teams. And then you got an AFC NFC team. Lamar does great versus those NFC teams. So that's what was it, a 425 game? Probably gonna be nationally televised. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo on CBS. All that. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be, those later slot games. You usually see after we play. We play a 1 o'clock game, and then they think there's another game that's more important, like I don't know, Bengals Chiefs or Chiefs Raiders or whatever. So we're finally the all
Those are
eyes
important
type
games.
situation. No, but you get what I mean, though.
Yeah.
So like, and then we get our bye. So I feel bad for the Giants. The Ravens usually come out, firing all cylinders on the bye week, and then you got the Steelers. So, this game is weird to me, just because like, when have we ever put the Steelers on Fox? Like, can you even remember that? Like, that's so weird. You think about this Ravens and Steelers, you think CBS, 425 CBS, or maybe Sunday Night Football, ESPN. I don't even think Thursday Night Football we've played on like them. I guess we did that one year in 2014, but
Yeah.
that's the only time I can remember they played him on Thursday Night Football. But Ravens and Steelers on Fox is just, I kind of sense like, I know it's a 425 game. It'll probably be like the Tom Brady, slot, of announcer games, but that still feels a little weird to me. And then the game on Netflix, like that's also just odd to me. Like, I mean, gotta stop with this, streaming service BS, with, Peacock, now Netflix, what is it, Paramount Plus, and,
Yeah.
Prime Video. Like, it's just too much, like, just keep everything on live TV, So, anyways, enough of me talking about that, and then the Browns. Hey, look, that's when we got right. Me and you both said that they play the Browns, last week of the year. I think I went over. We only got like two right. So, I want to say it was the the Buccaneers, I think, and I don't have it right with me right now. I should have had it, but I think we got that one right, and the Buccaneers. So overall, a very, very balanced schedule. The divisional opponents are very stretched out. The good teams and the bad teams are kind of smushed together. So we don't play a lot of bad teams anyway. So we're gonna be tested, for the playoffs if we wind up making it. So, that's kind of my reaction to the schedule, and my blind reaction, I should say.
Yeah, and I would say, we're going up against two pretty, good divisions this year, the AFC West and the NFC East. The Eagles kind of got a revamped team this year, revamped, defensive coordinator. Think they got a new offensive coordinator as well. The Commanders, they just got Jaden Daniels. They got a whole, kind of revamped offensive system. They just hired Dan Quinn as a new head coach. So, we're going to be playing against a lot of good teams. And, I think this year, I'm gonna say this year is one of the more important Ravens years because we have very high expectations despite losing a lot of players.
Hmm.
You bring in a guy like Derrick Henry, you have a pretty solid draft. You fill needs with young players. So, this is one of the kind of most important Ravens seasons, I would say. And I think we'll, get a good test, a good glimpse of this team, through the first 6 weeks. I'm really excited for those matchups to see how we do against the Chiefs, against the Raiders, or the Cowboys, especially Dallas at home. You know, we were one of the last teams that, they beat. I think we were undefeated against them for a while, until like 2016 or something, when we played them at Dallas. So, it's going to be a very good test for us, I would say. I'm really looking forward to that Dallas game, see what we do
Hmm.
against Dak, you know. So, that's just my kind of opinions. Is there any games that you're excited for to go to?
Yeah, to go, like the Bills game, classic Sunday Night Football in Baltimore, I wouldn't mind going to the Commanders game, kind of like a beltway, not a beltway rivalry, because we don't play them every year, but something that's new, new team. And let me see, the Bengals game, prime time, Eagles game, nationally televised. We gotta get to a Ravens Steelers game. Kind of wish we had more prime time games. Maybe that Browns games for the division at the end of the year. You never know. So, I'm excited. So whatever you want to, we can get into this, schedule prediction. I already got mine written down here. We already got the Ravens at 0-1. So, me and you from the Chiefs video. So, that's already confirmed. So we can get started with game two, unless you got something to say first.
I just want to get my top five games I want to go to because I'm excited for some of these games. I gotta put the Bills in there. I gotta put the Bengals, the Eagles. I love to go to that Steelers game. I've never been to a Ravens Steelers game. I know it's gonna get rowdy, and it's gonna be those Christmas December vibes. I'm excited for that too.
Yep.
And I like throwing a away game in there. Maybe the New York Giants, maybe Tampa Bay. That's just kind of a dream, a fantasy, but I'll say those are my top 5 games I want to go to. Like those games really excite me. But we can get to the schedule predictions. Come on, man, you got to be pumped up. I know you
Shut
pumped up to
up.
go to these Ravens games. Come on, wake up. I'm just
Shut
playing.
up. It's freaking it's late. It's late at night, bro. Shut up. Anyways, like you said, or like I said, I should say, we already predict the Ravens to lose week 1 in Kansas City. So we're already on 1. So we can go right on to week 2 versus the Raiders. After having a hard loss, I predict the Ravens bouncing back pretty, swiftly. Not too much of a blowout, not too much. The Raiders aren't that bad of a team, but if they're rolling with Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell, I think that we should have a good chance to beat them. By multiple scores, and I have the Ravens winning 24-7. Tying the series, tying the record at 1-1. Just kind of bouncing back with their home opener. Just nothing too spectacular, and the defense shows out. After a hard, kind of game they've played last week, the offense breaks out a little bit too. Only 7 more points they scored the week before, but just good little bounce back win for the Ravens to go 1-1.
I said we win this game too, and I have us winning big. I have us winning 37-13. We just a bounce back win. We lose a close game to Kansas City. We let off some frustrations from that game and just get a big win at home. Really do it up. So 37-13.
All right, for week 3, I have the Ravens at Dallas. I have Ravens winning. I have them winning by multiple scores, not by a lot, but only by 2 scores. At least I have the Ravens winning 34-21 at Dallas. And I know people are gonna say, oh, like what? Dallas hasn't lost a home game since whenever. I mean, they lost last year the playoffs, but but in the regular season, they're like what, like like 10-0 in their last 10 games or whatever, like something ridiculous like that. But I think we hand the Cowboys their first L at AT&T Stadium, or whatever they call it, Jerry's World. 34-21. I want to say that maybe the game gets a little out of hand. That 21's maybe garbage time points. Dak is great at that. At those garbage time, points. I think he did that a few years ago. Or maybe it was last year versus good teams. So I think the Cowboys struggle a lot versus these good teams, and I think that it's going to continue on to this year. They didn't really do a lot. I mean, let's be real, they didn't really do a lot. I hadn't really followed their draft this year, so you know, I think the Eagles are going to win the division personally. But you know, I think that we hand the Cowboys their first loss at AT&T Stadium in a few years, and it's a 34-21 win Ravens, and we're 2-1 on the year.
Yeah, I also have us winning this game too. I think it'll be a little bit closer. I would say we'll win this game. I'll say we'll win this game 28-24. I could see CeeDee Lamb giving us some trouble, especially in our secondary, but I think we eke it out. 28-24 win.
Yep. All right. Well, we can move on to week 4 versus the Bills. I have the Ravens winning this one as well, 28-13 to go 3-1 on the year. Prime time, under the lights, the first prime time game of the at M&T Bank Stadium for the Ravens. I think they're going to show out. Obviously the Bills, have lost, plenty this offseason. They had to do a lot of cost-cutting moves and traded Diggs, who seemed to be a cancer, on to the Texans. So hopefully he doesn't ruin the Texans. But they drafted Keon Coleman, so hopefully he could be their Diggs replacement. Hopefully not, hopefully he's a failure so that our AFC can be wide open. But I guess we like some competition. But I think it'll take a few weeks for them to, really, kink, maybe like, figure out the kinks and whatever, and they're not gonna have it by week 4. And I think the Ravens, with Derrick Henry just pounding the rock, I think we win 28-13 to improve to 3-1 on the year.
I agree. I definitely do think we'll be using Derrick Henry a lot. Especially in that Cowboys game I meant to mention, but against the Bills, we got to do it up for prime time. I have
Right.
us winning 24-10. I think the Bills defense is still pretty stout. They still have some pieces on there, even though they lost a few guys. I think, in the first quarter it's kind of going to be a little bit tough, but I think, we'll end up pounding the rock with Derrick Henry. Lamar maybe get one passing touchdown. We'll get the job done. 24-10.
Yep. So me and you both are at 3-1, a quarter of the way the season in. So anyways, to move on to week 5, we're at the Cincinnati Bengals. I actually have us losing this game 24-21, having us drop to 3-2. I feel like this is just one of the 24-21, I should say. Um, I just have this feeling like this is kind of like a dud game for us. The Ravens always got to have that one dud game early in the year. Usually the score is a little bit less than that, but I have a scoring like maybe getting the game tying touchdown, and then like we give up the game winning field goal. just like that, so that's how I can see it happening. I don't know. I just kind of feel like that gives off these vibes. I know it's only a 1 o'clock game, but I really think that this is like a dud Ravens early the season type game, where the Ravens should be like 5-0 or whatever, or 6-0 or something, but they're what 4-2 or 3-3, even though they shouldn't be. So I'd have the Ravens losing this game at Cincinnati.
I actually have us winning this game. I don't think it'll be a blowout or anything, but I see us winning 24-17. I really think that, we've been pretty good against covering Jamar Chase, the past 2 to 3 games. I think we keep that up. I think we keep the receivers under check. And I think the defense does a pretty good job. I think this is when they start to kind of get it going, kind of starting to understand Zach Orr's new scheme. And I think, again, we're pounding the ball with Derrick Henry. I think Lamar actually has a pretty good game as well. And so we win 24-17. I think we win this game.
All right. Well, we can move on to week 6 versus the Commanders. In my schedule, like I said, we had lost to the Bengals, so I think the Ravens come out. They usually respond pretty well after losses, and I think that they beat down the young Commanders team. I think they win 34-10. Their very first blowout of the year, really. They've had some double-digit scores, but this one, 24-point win, that's pretty big at home. So honestly, there's nothing complicated about it. I think the defense dominates after giving up a game-winning field goal. I have the offense dominates after not doing enough, maybe making a lot of mistakes in Cincinnati. So I think they just put they pound the rock, and they launch the ball. Whatever you want to say, however you want to say they're going to win, they're going to do it in dominating fashion. I think the Ravens win 34-10, and go to 4-2 in the year.
I have the Ravens winning this game as well. And it's kind of funny because my score is going to be a little bit similar to yours, but I have us winning this game 34-17. I think we allow a touchdown in garbage time, because, sometimes the Ravens just do that. But I was, dominating them. I feel like we're really going to put it to them. This won't be Jaden Daniels' first wake up call, but I feel like this is gonna be his first real matchup against a real contending team. And I think we're gonna, show him, who the top dogs are. So I have us winning 34-17. Again, great games by Lamar. I think Zay has a big game in this game as well. And Derrick Henry's doing his thing. 34-17.
It'd be funny if Zay cooked Emmanuel Forbes. But
I think
anyways, he probably. I mean, I think me and you could have cooked Emmanuel Forbes. So, anyways, to move on to week 7 at the Buccaneers Monday Night Football. The Ravens usually do pretty decent on Monday Night Football, and I think that this year is no different. Usually the Ravens don't blow out teams 2 weeks in a row, but I think that the Buccaneers are in for, they're in for Pound Town here. On prime time, Pound Town, prime time, whatever you want to say. I got the Ravens win at 42-17. They're dropping their first 40 bomb of the year. Just showing out on Monday Night Football. I mean, this could be like that Rams game from 2019 type, vibes. I don't know if the Bucks are going to be that great this year. I haven't really checked out their offseason moves. I know they re-signed Baker. I know they re-signed Mike Evans, but I just really think the Ravens would come in there and just, take everything. Going to Florida, it should still be pretty warm. Maybe it's week 7. Florida's always pretty warm, so anyways, no matter what week of the year it is, but I think they're going to come in there and just slam the Buccaneers 42-17 and go to 5-2 in the year.
yeah, so for me, I had to be coming. I see the Ravens, kind of how you said against the Bengals. I see us having a dud in this game. I feel like this game will be a very defensive game, throughout the whole game. I feel like the Ravens will kind of struggle to get, their passing game going, their run game going. I feel like, we score a touchdown late, but I feel like we might lose this game 20-13. I feel like it's just going to be one of those games where it's just, what are we doing? What's we can't really get nothing going. So I have us losing 20-13 against the Bucks on Monday Night Football.
All right. Well, going to week 8 at the Browns. I have us winning this game, but I have this kind of being a little bit more of an interesting game. I have us winning 27-24 through to 6-2 in the year. Kind of like one of those game winning field goals, like how, it was in, versus the Bengals. We gotta have at least one of those a year. I don't even know if we had one in 2023. Do you remember? I don't think we did.
No, we didn't have one. No.
Right. So we got to get one of those back. So I think the Ravens win 27-24, good AFC North matchup late in the or mid, mid year, and I think the Ravens come out, squeak out a win, after dominating the Buccaneers in my schedule the week prior.
Um, you know, I actually have the Ravens dropping this game as well. So I have us dropping 2 games in a row. I feel like this is going to be a very physical game, similar to how the one was last year, where we ended up losing on a game-winning field goal. Guys like David Njoku, maybe Nick Chubb, comes back into form by this game. I just have us losing this game. I just feel like it's going to be a very physical game. We're going to be on the road. They're going to be, a very high intensity game, a very, just physical game. I think, we just kind of lose our footing. I feel like we lose this game. I would say we lose this game 30-24.
All right. Well, so let's move on to week 9 here versus the Broncos. Obviously they lost Russell Wilson. They lost Jerry Judy. Cortland Sutton could be on the way out soon. They lost a lot in this off season. And I got our second 40 burger of the year. I got us winning 45-7, blowing out the Denver Broncos at home. They probably would do it on the same for you after losing 2 games in a row, so but I have them at 7-2, winning 45-17 versus the Broncos. Just classic beatdown, Baltimore. So, you know, maybe me and you can go to that game and watch that, Slaughterfest.
Yeah, and I agree. I have this being a blowout win. Losing 2 games in a row, the Ravens are going to come into this game pissed, and I feel like we're going to blow them out. I feel like the score is going to be 41-7. I just feel like we really put it to them. I just feel like we just locked down their whole team. Like we're pounding the ball nonstop. I feel like this is probably one of those games where by the third quarter, Justice Hill and Keaton Mitchell are just going to be taking all the snaps. Like, and maybe we'll put Malik Cunningham in there. Just a absolutely dominating performance. We'll get our starters out of there by the third quarter. So 41-7, Ravens win and get back on a winning streak.
All right.
Winning
Well,
side, I'm sorry.
yeah. So week 10 will be 4 days later versus the Bengals on Thursday Night Football. I got the Ravens winning this game after dropping the game early in the year versus the Bengals 24-17 to go 8-2 on the year, getting a nice win, before getting a few days off. I think you get like 10 days off after Thursday Night Football. So, you know, I had the Ravens winning 24-17, probably on a late, game touchdown. And then, the Bengals don't have enough time to score and they have to throw a Hail Mary. It doesn't work, that type of scenario. Thursday Night Football, if Burrow, we don't hurt him again, then, I think it should be a pretty exciting game, and I think the Ravens squeak out here versus the Bengals 24-17.
I have the Ravens winning this game as well. I have us winning 20-17. I feel like it's kind of similar to last year's Thursday night football game. It was really close when Burrow was playing, and when he got injured, we kind of pulled away from him. But with him playing, it's definitely different. I think, we get a game-winning touchdown drive out of Lamar, and we end up winning 20-17. I really feel like his heroics come in late, and he's adding on to that MVP season, hopefully again. So that's what I feel like. 20-17 win on prime time.
All right. Well, to move on to week 11, we play at Pittsburgh. Now, have us rolling here. I think it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winning wins in a row. So, but then I was dropping this game here in Pittsburgh, 17-10. We always gotta have some stupid ass loss, versus the Steelers every year. I think this is gonna be one of those frustrating games, like where it's just like kind of like what you said earlier, like what are you doing? So this could totally be a game where our receivers are dropping it, or we're just turning the ball over a lot, or just our offense just can't drive. I don't know what it is when you play the Steelers, but honestly, when we play the Steelers, it feels like we're watching the Ravens and Chiefs all the time. Besides their offense part, the way our offense rolls against the Steelers, it feels like the Steelers and the Chiefs figure out the Ravens the best, so not every team can replicate that, but it seems like those two teams can for some odd reason. So, maybe they do some, voodoo black magic before the game, but I wouldn't be surprised those two freak shows in both squads, so, but anyways, before I get into how I really feel about these guys, I had the Ravens lose 17-10.
You talking about voodoos and black magic? I'm like, where is this going?
Yeah, I imagine Mahomes sitting like out freaking, like some Doctor Strange shit before the game, like let Lamar fumble or whatever, or like Mike Tomlin does that same crap. It just seems like the Steelers always get things handed to them.
You're right, you're right. Yeah, and that's funny because that would be like the third time we lost to them by a score of 17-10, by
That's
your
just the see. Like I'm gonna pick that every year now because it just seems like we lose to them that same stupid score.
right, right, right. I have actually have us winning this game. I feel like the Ravens going into this game are going to make a point. You know, we've been bad against the Steelers. Whether it's home or away, the last couple of times, I feel like we roll into Pittsburgh, and I feel like we don't smoke them, but we win. We win kind of decisively. I feel like it's a decisive victory. I feel like we win this game 28-13. I really feel like we put it to them with the run game. I feel like Mark Andrews has a big game. Just going to be one of those vintage Ravens games where the running backs and tight ends really go off. I feel like Likely and Andrews are going to break loose. I saw said Mark Henry, like the WWE wrestler. Derrick Henry is going to really run loose in this game and just tear him up. I feel like he's going to really wreak havoc, especially on Patrick Queen. So I thought I was winning 28-13 in this game, winning decisively.
Right. We'll move on to week 12, the Hardball Bowl, Monday Night Football versus the Chargers. I have us winning this game after, having a dud loss versus the Steelers. I was winning this game 31-21. I think this game's going to be close most of the game. I think that we pull away kind of like how we did last year when we were winning 13-10. And then we got the, Zay Flowers touchdown and wound up winning by 2 scores. I think this is kind of the same type of game here, but us we're scoring more points though, So I was winning 31-21, going 9-3 on the year, and really, it's another win for John Harbaugh over Jim.
Yeah. I actually have us losing this game too. And again, I feel like this is
I
going to
mean,
be
two. I
one
didn't
of
say
those
that.
games- I feel like I feel like this is going to be one of those games where, like I said against the Bucks, what are you doing? It's just going to be like the Ravens, what are you doing? And it's going to be one of those games where we're winning, but then we let them come back in the game. I really feel that way. It's not going to be a high scoring game. It's going to be a very ground and pound game, a very kind of physical game. We lose this game. I'm really going to say 16-10. I really think so. It's not going to be a high passing game by Lamar. I think our defense keeps Herbert in check too and his receivers. It's just going to be about the running game. And I feel like J.K. Dobbins, if he's healthy, and Gus Edwards are going to have a point to prove against us. And I think they do pretty well in this game, 16-10. They beat us, unfortunately.
All right, week 13, one of the biggest games of the year at this point versus the Eagles. I have the Ravens winning this game by 10 actually, 38-28. I'm kind of on the fence, not on the fence, but like kind of the same versus the Chargers. It's close all game, but the Ravens get one score to pull away and win the game 38-28. Like it could be 35-28, we cause a turnover and then we like score a touchdown. That's how I see it. That's how I see the Ravens getting their 10th win, going 10-3. And beating the Eagles, who I think are we could see again at that point that this year, So or I guess next year, 2025, in the Super Bowl. So this could easily be a Super Bowl preview in my opinion. And I hope Tony Romo or Jim Nantz said, that did that one year, like where they said like this could be a Super Bowl preview when the Bucks and Chiefs were playing, and hopefully it's not the same. The AFC teams beating the NFC team and then they claim the Super Bowl and then the NFC team blows out, the AFC team. But we'll see. So anyways, I got us winning 38-28.
Unfortunately, I could see us losing this game, and I have us losing this game. I feel like we lose
You're
this
a
game.
loser. It's I'm joking.
I'm sorry, and I want us to go to this game too, but I see us losing this game 35-31. I really feel like the combination of AJ Brown and Devontae Smith really gives us trouble. I mean, and they got Dallas Goddard back there too. And you can't forget about their defense. I mean, they got two of the top 10 corners in the draft. I feel like by this point in the season, they're going to get going, going to cause some problems for us. They have a pretty good D line. So I feel like 35-21, we lose this game, drop this game at home, unfortunately.
All right, so week 14 is the bye. TJ has just fallen off the cliff all of a sudden.
Just
Because
one
he does,
game.
bro. We're 8-5 in your shit. We just lost to the Chargers. We shouldn't, and we lost to the
Oh,
Eagles.
oh,
You
yeah,
guys
true.
losing to two NFC teams. When have we done that in Lamar era?
It's got to
So
happen once.
no, it won't happen once. We may lose one team, but then after that,
I
like
don't want it to happen.
well, you clearly do. So TJ
We're
is
the
a
best team.
Ravens.
Stop blabbering.
TJ is a Ravens
No,
hater.
no, no,
He
no,
roots for the
no,
Steelers probably undercover.
no, no.
So he probably has a Steelers mug and all that stuff.
Jared's a
So
Bengals fan, so it's
don't
over.
ever insult me like that ever again. Anyways, week 15 after our week 14 bye. Honestly, I have the Ravens just coming in MetLife and just dominating. Stay healthy in this game. I have the Ravens winning 35-3. Nothing too hard, nothing too complicated. Just something simple. 35-3. Domination from start to finish.
I have us winning this game too. I feel like we go into New York and we dominate them. I feel like we win this game 30, I say 30-10. I feel like Malik Neighbors kind of gets a couple good, highlight reels against us, but not too much. I feel like we just keep them, locked in. So 30-10 win.
All right. Well, next week, week 16 versus the Steelers. I was getting get back versus the Steelers, winning 24-14. Getting a good bounce back win to send us to 12-3 on the year. Ravens comfortably, in the 1 seed territory at this point in my, schedule prediction. And I think that Texas game next week totally set that game up to be a number 1 seed kind of clinch game, like how it was last year versus the Dolphins.
I have a smoking them in this game, and I feel like the score is going to be 35-13. I feel like, they swept us last season. We got to get back and sweep them. And I feel like we do. And, in dominating fashion at home. So a nice Christmas present, a nice early Christmas present for the Ravens fans. 35-13 win.
All right. Well, I already know you're probably gonna predict us losing to the Texans, so I'm gonna do the opposite. I have the Ravens winning in in Houston, 31-28. I think it's gonna be a great game on Christmas. It's gonna be better than the 49ers game last year, for maybe the general audience. Gonna be more stressful for Ravens fans, to be honest. They're gonna be tough, but I think the Ravens in these type of games with Lamar Jackson, these big games, maybe the 1 seed type clinch games, we usually perform pretty well. And with Derrick Henry, obviously they've made a lot of additions. They got that one guy from Minnesota on their team now, and they have Stephon Diggs. They had a much needed running back room and Joe Mixon. So they're gonna be pretty good. But I still think that we pull away here, 31-28. Makes the game a little bit closer than it was last year. But this could easily be a playoff matchup again this year.
Unfortunately, I have us losing this game. I feel like a lot of superlatives are going to go into this game. Obviously the Texans, they're going to want to show it on Christmas at home. They're going to want to get back for us eliminating them from the divisional round last year. I do believe it's a close game. But unfortunately, I have us falling. I think the trio of Diggs, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell really gets to us. I feel like we lose this game 30-27. A very close game. They get a game-winning drive, kick a game-winning field goal.
All right, week 18 for me. I play the Browns. I have us already like locked up and everything, first seed division, everything. So we're not doing anything important, at this point. We've played a lot of good teams. We've beaten a lot of good teams. And I have us losing week 18. We have Malik Cunningham out there, whatever. It's a goof off session, really. It could be another rain game like it was last year with the Steelers. I was losing 19-13 to drop to 13-4 in the year, just like I was last year. And that's how I think our season will conclude.
I actually think the Browns might be a little bit better this year. Maybe it'll be a more closer game in the standings, but I have us winning this game. I have us winning, really eking this game out. I feel like we win 24-20. I feel like it's one of those, I kind of feel like it's a rain game too. I'm getting those vibes, and we just pull it out, a game-winning touchdown drive from Lamar, 24-20.
All right, so we have a little bit of time here. We can go ahead and you finished your prediction finished at 11-6. I have it as at 13-4. It's only a 2 game difference. So your record will probably have us in the wild card. So who do you think our most realistic wild card matchup is for you? And what do you think the score would be?
Um, I could see us playing a team like the Titans in the wild card. I feel like they have a very good team this year. Not a very good team, but a decent team. And I could see
Right.
the score being 24-13, us pulling it out. I feel
Do
like we
you
get
think
the
that
playoff
11-6 good enough to win the division, or do they win the AFC South?
Um, I think I think it's good enough to win the division.
All right.
I think it'll be very tight.
All right. So versus Titans. You said what, 24-13?
Yep.
Right. W. So divisional round. Who do you think we play in the divisional round?
In the division round, hmm. I could see us playing a team like the Bengals, honestly. I could see us
Right.
playing the Bengals. And I feel like we win that game. I feel like we win 20-17.
All right. I don't even know. I don't even think I need to ask who you think we play in the championship game.
Honestly, I feel like it could be that's just gonna be the Chiefs. I don't know why I'm tripping. The
I won't
Chiefs
say.
again.
But
I
this
feel like
time
we
it's
beat them.
probably. I feel like this is gonna be Arrowhead though.
Yeah, I feel like we
In
beat
your
them.
schedule.
Yeah, I feel like we beat them. I feel like this is what we built this team for. We got Derrick Henry, got, kind of still tighten up our defense a little bit. I feel like we come into Arrowhead and we finally get to win this time, a big win. I feel like we win this game 30-27. Game winning drive by Lamar. Tucker hits the field goal. All time game.
What was the score again?
30-27.
All right. Who do you think we're playing in the Super Bowl then? What's the Super Bowl prediction for TJ and the Ravens?
Honestly, the Super Bowl prediction, I could see us playing the Green Bay Packers. I really do. I think they've done a lot of nice additions this offseason. Jordan Love is looking like a top 10 QB. I could see us playing them in the Super Bowl, and I could see us winning that Super Bowl. Lamar gets his first ring. The score is going to be 31-24. Ravens win.
31-24.
Yep, Lamar Super Bowl MVP.
31-24. So with my playoffs, I actually have us playing a divisional team in the divisional round as well. And I think it'll be the Browns actually. I think, it'll be kind of what we expected last year, but I was playing the Browns in the playoffs, and I think we're going to win 31-20. Championship game, who else do you think we're going to play? But I think it's a rematch. And I think it's a rematch at the bank instead of you guys going to Kansas City. I think we do everything that we didn't do last year. I think we win that game, but I actually think that we win like, I thought you had us blowing them out for a second. I thought I said 30-17. No, it's not going to be a blowout, but it's going to be close. And I agree with the game winning field goal type stuff. Because remember the Bengals had to do that a few years ago. So, and I guess the not the Patriots, they wanted an overtime touchdown. But I think we're going to win that game versus the Chiefs as well. And I say it's going to be, hmm, I say it's going to be 27-24. That's my prediction.
I
And then
like
in the Super Bowl, I have actually was playing the Lions. So you got an NFC North team. I think the Lions do it this year. I think the Lions get all the way. They stun the 49ers in the conference championship, or the Eagles, one of the two teams. And I think we beat them. We sent heartbreak to Detroit, so I think we beat them, and I think it actually is going to be something along the lines of like maybe like 28 like 10. I'm sorry, 28-20. And I have the Ravens win the Super Bowl this year. Unlike how I did last year, they've been here before now. They're hungry. The one thing that I think is going to motivate them the most, and I think this is going to be the turning point of the year for them, it's actually the first game of the year. Whether they win or lose, no matter what, just them sitting there or like being there in the same vicinity as the Kansas City Chiefs, getting that banner that, let's be real, should be ours. It should be ours. We should be the ones hosting this game. We should be the ones dropping this banner. And yeah, I think that'll be the motivation here. So, anyways, that'll be our recap or our predictions for the 2024 season. So you can wrap the video.
Yeah, so that'll be our predictions, schedule predictions for this year. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe in this video. Comment what you think our record will be in the season outcome. Make sure you check out our social medias on Instagram or Twitter or TikTok. Subscribe to our second channel, Casual Cinema. And we're Bird Spray Sports, TJ and Jared, and we're out.
Wow.